All right. Hi, I'm Kelsey,
And I'm Cherie
and this is
Very what?
episode 310.
of the Cultra Trail Running Podcast.
From the belly of the Beast Coast, Glastonbury, Connecticut, this is the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. We talk about all the fun shit that happens on the trails that most normal people don't care about. The language we use is f***ing explicit and raw like the trails we run on, so don't listen with your kids! Cultra is brought to you by our Patreons and supporters, and we are 112% listener supported, and support is good.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. I'm your host, Art Byram, and I am joined today by a whole bunch of people here. We have, starting out, the Cultra Crew. As you heard, Evil Becky Burke jumping in, asking Cherie who.
And who is it? Cherie.
Cherie Bilbie.
Yep. Yay.
Very
Yes.
good.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Very good. So, and we also have Jimmy Mack
What's good, fam?
and Celeste
With his
Fong
cool glass.
Ding-Dong.
Good morning.
Woo! All right. And in addition, so we have the two race directors and good people from the Shinipsit Striders and Nipmuck Marathon. We have Kelsey Yang.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, Kelsey.
Yay.
And Cherie Bilbie.
Hello.
All right.
Cherie,
so,
can you say your last name the way Art does it? Or is it just not work?
Bilbie.
so it's to be sung, right? I mean,
That's the only way
What-
to say it.
tell us about the name Bilbie. Is there a story behind that name?
Well, it's my married name, but it's English. I think it's an English background, but that's
Okay.
about all I know. Like English Wales background.
You're Wales? Like a whale?
Well, like
You
Welsh
have
Wales.
whales in your
Country
family?
of Wales.
Okay. I guess that doesn't work. How Jimmy's just shaking his
Well,
fucking
no,
head. saying,
someone
"Stop it,
asked. I was talking to someone
Dad."
today, and they were like, "Dad jokes are good." And I was like, "Unless they're bad, and then they're really fucking bad." And that's why I was like, that's a fucking shitty dad joke. That's awful.
That is. I need help tonight.
But-
Okay.
No, an attempt was made, and I really appreciate the attempt that was made.
Okay. All right. Nice try, Dad. Just- oh my gosh. So, and Celeste Fong Ding-Dong, I did say hi, right?
Yeah, you said hi.
I did. Okay. I forgot because we've had technical difficulties out the yin yang tonight. So, all right. So before we get into it, though, I want to because we're going to definitely talk about Nipmuck Marathon, which is had its 41st running, right? 41st
Wow.
running this weekend or last weekend. It was great. And before we get into that, there were some other current events and stuff like that I wanted to talk about briefly. Number one is Machine Gun Kelly, right?
Oh, rat-a-tat-tat. He kicked ass.
Yes. So he just ran a backyard ultra, right?
Yep.
All right. And was that Bubba's backyard? Is that the
Yeah,
one?
Bubba's
that it was?
backyard.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Does anybody have any of the details on that? I know that he got the assist there.
I think he did 44
42?
hours.
24?
40
He texted me during the race after I finished Nipmuck and was like, good job or whatever. I was like, fucking hey, dude.
Yeah, like, what are you doing, dude?
He's in the middle of his day. Like he's only been running for a day at that point.
Jeez.
He was doing really well, though.
So did he get 155 miles, if I read that right? Does that sound right?
Shit. Sounds right.
Where's
No,
all my
something
fact
like that.
checkers? I'm
I'm
just
gonna
the
I'm
guy who
gonna hop
says
on
shit
I'll
and
hop
then-
on a Strava.
No, if
on
it's
that.
over because 4 miles times 40 hours is 160 miles.
Yes.
So it's
On
more than that.
Sign up, it says 147.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Because it might not have been was this a true backyard distance then?
I
where-
Like Run Ragged is a
yeah,
5K.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 4.166 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But there was just I think they did washing machine style loops, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so every hour they change direction.
Yes.
Instead of doing a night in a road loop or
gotcha. So just for the uninitiated, like if you're new to the sport or whatever, is this a sport? Okay. If you're new to the activity,
lifestyle choice,
the poor lifestyle choice.
How many people have REI memberships of us 6?
Yes.
All of us, all 6 of us?
I don't.
No.
Yeah, I do.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, really?
Really?
What's the
I
point of REI?
I thought that was the gold standard of like being an outdoor person, or like it used to be. And I was like, oh, everyone's got one now, right? Like
it's like 10% off.
You get money back every year. If you spend money on full price items, you get money back every year. But like REI sucks. Like I don't really shop there anymore.
What am I going to buy there? I have everything I need.
I always had this membership for tag sales, thrift shops, and
Cumberland Farms.
Yes, then I'd be there.
Oh, you do have a Cumberland Farms membership.
I do.
I've gotten more gift cards from Cumberland Farms from Becky than any other human combined. Like I fucking love you, Becky.
Okay.
I didn't even know Cumberland Farms had gift cards.
What?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
By a show of hands,
I'm not buying you a carton of smokes up, but I'll buy you a gift card.
Who went to Cumberland Farms today and bought bugles? Let's see a show of hands.
Oh, no.
Just me and Gatorade.
You didn't get Munchums like we got last time?
I looked for the Munchums. They didn't have any.
Oh.
But
I was praying today that tonight's episode was going to be ridiculous. So we're off to a great start. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. It's because of the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights.
Did you see that? Did you see? Oh my God.
Fucking gorgeous. I got some
I've
pictures.
never seen them before. Me and my kid, I took
like
videos.
Now?
Yes, I've
like tonight?
Earlier at sunset, right
what
after
the
sunset.
Fuck are we doing here?
Well, it's done now.
I just went out and checked. Like a half hour, like right before the show, and they're gone. Like, but I got video.
See?
Check my Insta. Yeah, that's
shit.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that was right at my house.
If you use that night setting on like the newer iPhones, that's kind of like I got.
This is the 16. Too. Yeah.
Look, mine looks like Cherie. Look, we're triplets,
Oh,
guys.
That was behind my house.
I like fell out my front door, almost fell down the porch trying to get out there.
Yeah, we brought the dogs outside.
Get with it, Byram.
Come on, Byram. No, it was stunning. It was really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully is it like it could be tonight some more, right?
I don't know.
I think maybe don't last very long.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be 90 minutes.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
But everybody
go on Facebook, Art. You'll see it.
Crutchley.
I don't want to see it on Facebook.
People in Massachusetts, Philly. It was more green down in Philly. Like all my Philly friends were posting it. It was way more green and less pink.
Was that
one up here? It was more
Eagles?
pink and purple.
Yeah, somewhere.
They're using an eagle filter in Philadelphia.
Oh, because it's green.
Yes, that's the joke. Like sorry.
That was a better dad joke.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I forgot that people watch football, right? People watch football still.
That's right. That's right. That went over our listeners' heads. It's green like David Roche's shorts. So, okay. So anyway, I was in Cumberland Farms today. It was great. So, and Becky would be so proud of me. I only bought 2 things of Gatorade and drank them both, and then took the bugles with me and ran down the road with them. So
nice.
Art, like he like throws back beverages in this insane amount of time. Like I'll look away and then I look back and it's empty.
Don't you get the sloshies when you do that?
And doesn't he get the tinklies?
Well, I mean, I get
know,
the tinklies
actually, no, he does.
just breathing, but like, don't you get the sloshies? You know, like, I don't know. If I
you get the sloshies, the tinkling, but then you also have the prostates. So, which
that causes the tinklies.
It does, yes. Yeah. So
well, what's my excuse then? Because I pee more than Art and Jimmy combined.
That would be impressive if you could do that.
I pee a lot.
Speaking for Jimmy and myself,
I'm drinking like 4 or 5 of these a day, so I'm drinking like 130 ounces of water a day. Like I have to pee. Yeah, I like water.
Oh, I do have a little update. So there's an episode which I haven't released yet that has our nutritionist that we had on.
Oh,
That
she
was
was very
a good
good.
episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
really
I felt
good.
bad when my computer crashed because I quite enjoyed her.
One of the issues one of the items that we talked about was carb intake and how it was thought not to be related to the weight of the participant or of the subject, right? So that the caloric needs of people of different sizes are identical is what has been thrown out there, or very similar.
Not caloric. I thought she said.
Carbohydrate requirements are, yes.
Oh.
And I think that there's a new study out now that has actually changed the thoughts on that.
So
saying that if you're smaller, you do need of slightly less calories than somebody who is of larger stature or muscular, like
but
big boned.
I had
like
a conversation.
myself.
Dude, I had a conversation with Jeff Miller about this like 5 years ago. Like, I swear to God, like one of the first conversations I ever had with that dude. And he was like, yeah, he's like, think about it. He's like, you're really pretty fit and you're pretty little. He's like, I bet, like you might only burn like 94 calories per mile, where like somebody like bigger like me or whatever, like, might burn like 108 calories per hour. And I was like, he's like, yeah, he's like, it's an interesting concept to think about, whatever.
So what's Bessic, 240?
Like Bessik's a big dude. I don't know if he's that big.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to look up.
But like, I mean, I imagine, Bessic could just like eat cheeseburgers on the run. And like, for me, I'm just like, I'm pecking on seeds,
Yeah,
it was little birdie legs poking out.
But it confirmed, though, I mean, hearing this talked about confirmed that is the basic consensus, is that people consume, or your carbohydrate requirements are very similar regardless of your size, which we kind of said, wait, that doesn't, that's kind of surprising, but that was what.
In relation to like per grams, like kiloweight, or like,
yes,
like relative.
A lot of other things fluctuate based upon your size. Okay. Like probably your hydration requirements, your, other things, but the carbohydrate requirement was pretty consistent, saying that the requirements, now they're talking about trying to get in a lot of cases, somewhere like where it used to be 30 to 60. Now it's like 60 to 90 to, for some people, 120 grams of carbohydrate per hour. Okay. So, but a new study came out that has said that should be adjusted to weight slightly, that there's slight variations. So not as much as there are in other measurements, but I just thought I'd add that in there. I'll see if I can find something and throw it in the show notes for,
Did Jeff Miller write that article? Because we had that same conversation like 5 years ago.
5 years ago. He was,
maybe even longer. Maybe
you guys,
5 or 6 years
were
ago.
like ahead of the curve.
We were. It was
Joffrey Myler, you mean?
Yeah. I'm
like,
pretty
who
sure
the fuck is Jeff Miller? I'm like, Joffrey. I know a Joffrey Myler.
We can call him Mr. Jamie Miller.
Okay.
Like they call Brett Goucher or whatever, like Mrs. Mr. Caragoucher, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have a more famous running wife or whatever, then that's who you are. So sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. Yeah. You're Mr. Jamie Miller now.
Gotcha. Hey, Jimmy, you like my hat here?
That's a fucking sweet one. That's one of those OG ones from that fat ass back in the day.
That's right.
I wore your hat, your buff tonight too. When I went for my run,
guys.
my orange.
I love you guys.
It was awesome. That's so
the
funny.
Patchogue buff?
Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. We have been torturing Kelsey and Cherie and our listeners for long enough. Let's give our listeners what they want. So first of all, Cherie and Kelsey, you guys were, this was your first year as RD. Is that right, Cherie?
Yeah. So this year we did everything mostly by ourselves in terms of the pre-setup. We trained and was mentored by Dave Merkt last year. And, the original Nipmuck Dave is around also, and he's a resource for us. So yeah, this was our first year doing it together, kind of on our own.
Very good. Very good. And Kelsey, so yeah, and you were on the same path from last year as well. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. Same thing. Yeah. Last year we trained with Dave and got a little bit of practice, but this year we had to organize, make sure everything happened on time.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, you know what races are, you show up, you throw up a table and blah blah blah, or maybe you set up
you
volunteers.
said you show up and throw up.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this race, and there were, there's always something that like happens that's as a challenge. But you guys had a pretty major challenge with the course, right, beforehand. Maybe you could kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, there were a couple things last year and this year. The south end, very end of it, is kind of closed because some beavers flooded the end of the trail.
Damn beavers, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So this year, it actually wasn't flooded. It was passable, but it was so overgrown and the bridges are all broken. So we had to route around that. But then really the main issue this year was that they were doing some logging on the south end of the trail. So only a month to 2 months before the race, they were doing their logging, and we had to really coordinate with the company and hope that they were, done in time that we could clean up the trail. And, luckily they were really great. They gave us a couple weeks to kind of clean it up, and they made sure there were no huge trees across the trail that we would have to move. So
gotcha. So what did you have to like bribe them with pancakes or something, or what do you like? How do you deal with lumberjacks, right? I mean, like what? I don't know.
They were really friendly. Like I just called them kind of every other week to check in on the progress, and yeah, they were super friendly, and yeah, I didn't have to bribe them with anything, but they even hung a bunch of blue ribbons, as you saw, so that we could find the trail again.
Okay. All right. Very good. Yeah, because that could have been, I mean, I know that the trail was somewhat treacherous, and you guys kind of laid out, and it's good that you were able to communicate and work with the landowners there. And that's like Cherie, I think you've done some of that too, right? Working with landowners and things like that.
I haven't done too much of that, but we were sweating it out.
Yeah.
We weren't sure, if they were going to be done. Kelsey checked in with them, and the thing was, CFPA didn't really know that they were doing the logging either. Nipmuck Dave kind of said, "Hey, there's some logging going on," and so then some phone calls were made, and we were able to connect with them. And Kelsey, talked with the person in charge, and it was actually, so the trail's been really dry, and so that worked to our advantage, actually, because I think they were able to get in and do the work that they needed to do because it was dry, and get it done. So, we had some time to get in there. So actually, I think we'd like to thank, like, Art came along, Dom, one of the Schnipsit Striders, Kelsey, and I, we went out there. You had to hike in about 1.3 miles. So we went in and did a lot of trail work. That was a Saturday right after Clint's Memorial. So we took in a leaf blower. So Don brought his leaf blower, which we wouldn't normally leaf blow a trail, but we had to see what the condition was and just really clear up, and had pickaxes and our rakes, and we were out there for a couple hours. So we went out there. That was Saturday. And then we went out, Kelsey and I went out with Nipmuck Dave, I think maybe 2 weeks later, and did another like cleanup on that. So I think the logging section was actually in excellent shape for the race. And I mean, Jimmy ran. So I think maybe we weren't out there, but I think it was very well marked. I think we got it in shape and marked enough for the race. And I don't know that people even, I mean, it's clear. You kind of look out, you're like, oh my gosh, this is ugly. It was really ugly. But I think the trail itself was very easy to follow.
Yeah. Jimmy, what was it like to, do you recall that section of the trail?
Yeah, I have a couple notes before I start talking first. So
yeah, and first of all, congratulations, Jimmy, on your finish. Okay, I fucked you over there. I just like ignored you. I didn't care about that. I didn't even acknowledge.
Yeah, you did great. That's a good race.
Yeah, top 10, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you. But here, listen, because beaver was mentioned earlier, and also when you drive in from, you're going east on 84, you get off at exit 69 to go to this race. So I just want people to know that I nominate the Nipmuck Marathon as Connecticut's sexiest race.
I mean, I'll second it just because.
It's
Who doesn't like a second, right?
triple X.
I was naked on course for like a minute. Like it happens.
Fair.
Yep. Pooping during races, you know. So yeah, I thought the course was obscenely well marked. Yeah, and I like this course. You know, I ran this race 5 years ago, and I wanted to see how fast I could run, and I had so much fun. Like I just had such a fun time. Volunteers were awesome. Except for the kids at the kids from where were they from? Eastern?
Yeah,
Eastern Connecticut State
They're just like
University.
I was like I come into the
cross-country
8th
team.
I come into the aid station with my bottles, and I'm like, I was like, you guys got like straight water? And they were like, yeah, it's right there. And they just like pointed. And I was like, I'm looking around, like, nobody's got pitchers in hand. I'm like, I didn't say shit though. I was like, all right, these kids are here. Are these kids here for college credit? Like, I'm not gonna fuck them over. Like, but I filled my own bottles. That was the only time I filled my own bottles. Yeah,
That's a learned thing, though, right? Like you don't know that
I could
you should
totally
be.
see a college kid just being like, "What? Yeah, here."
Yeah, but even
Or
an
high
adult,
school
right?
kid.
Like if you don't know that that's kind
no,
of
but because the vibes that me and Brian Vanderheiden had at my fat ass that one year, that's kind of what we were like shaking up Art's Coke, and like people were like, "Where's whatever?" I'm like, "Fuck you! I'm just here to heckle you. You gave me money. I'm like, don't ask me shit. Like, let's fucking. I'm just fucking here to fuck with people. Like."
Yeah, I was telling Jimmy this weekend, actually about one of the times I ran Nipmuck Marathon, and I think it was 2022, and Art was at the Alpacaville aid station, and I came in, and he's like, "Hey, do you want a potato?" And I'm like, "Sure." I wasn't really paying attention, and he freaking like spins it in salt, and I go to eat it, and I'm like, "Oh."
Well, you learned a lesson, right?
Food.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it was
you should not be allowed to do that during like the Nipmuck Marathon. That's energy right there. Then you bring that to like someone's shitty fat ass.
Well, no, I mean it was all with good intent. Like for me, as somebody who's prone to being hyponatremic,
Yeah, right.
you know, that would help.
So I said that too. I said Art was just saving me from hyponatremia.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And so, you know, you got to keep your blood salt levels up. So
we should start like a culture like pool where you every time you mention it on the podcast, you got to put like $10 in. And then
like a swear jar.
Right. And then if anyone we know actually ever gets hyponatremia, because we won't because it's super fucking rare, they get all that money if they don't die.
I got it. Am I eligible or no?
No.
Yeah. Could we have a bot go back and see how many times that word has been said on the podcast in 310 episodes?
We'll have Cultra Bot do that.
For real?
I don't know. Fuck, I'll say so. Yeah, why not?
Oh my God, you made me almost spit.
You know, why not? We
oh,
can do this.
I am deceased. Yeah.
So how nervous were you guys? Like, tell us about the week leading up to it. Were you guys feeling confident, or how did it feel getting ready for this?
Well,
Cherie, you should take it. Yeah.
Well, I'll just tell you, I love working with Kelsey. She is so good. I mean, I think we made a pretty good team.
Mm-hmm.
She is the epitome of, my brain was completely fried by Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, but I was trying to say that Kelsey's like the epitome of small but mighty. She's so good. And we really only had one meeting where we got together. And then after that, it was just, tons of back and forth by text and Facebook Messenger. We had one meeting where I think we knew what we had to do. And Dave has set up a Google Drive with all the different tasks set up to do. So we kind of divided things up. So kind of divide and conquer and anything that we kind of were going along the way. Because I'm somebody who, like, if I feel like a slacker, then I start doing a lot of stuff. Like I told her the one point, I'm like, let me do that. I feel like a slacker. So, she would do a bunch of things and I would go, okay, she's got those things. Then, okay, I'm going to do these things over here. And then I would do some other things. So I think it really worked out between the two of us. Like I ordered the porta pots and and sometimes, you kind of find some of these companies and I called them and I said, we're looking to get porta pots for this date. And he goes, okay, yeah, just text this number. I'm like, okay, what's your name? Waldo. Okay. So I text Waldo when I want the porta pots and you don't really get a response back. And then,
Oh,
I'm like, just reminding you that we're getting porta pots for this weekend, right? He's like, yep. And so I went to mark the spot to put them. I went there on Thursday because he was going to deliver them on Friday. So they were already there on Thursday. So I was like, okay, well, that's good to know.
Did he put them
He
where
did. He knew where to put them.
Oh, okay, good.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of emailing. I mean, Jimmy, you know how all this is. There's a lot of stuff that you kind of can't do till the last minute, which when you like to try to do things ahead of time, you kind of feel like you're sitting and wait. At least for me, I feel like I'm sitting and slacking a little bit and then doing a lot of stuff all at once at the end. But some things you kind of can't, you got to gather everything up and then it's deliver things to certain places and people to, what we do is most of the stuff we try to get to the folks that are going to do the aid station ahead of time. Like for Alpacaville, for instance, I get that stuff to Emma so she can deliver it and drop it off.
Yeah.
Mark, for Iron Mine aid station, we drop that stuff off ahead of time. So it's really like a lot of I was very tired by the end.
Yeah, we
really late.
Right,
and then you're working your real job in the same time too. So
yeah. Oh, that's great. I mean, you guys did such a good job. I know that so I worked Alpacaville again, and this time I decided that I wanted to go for a run beforehand, to get my run in. So I actually spent the night at that aid station.
I saw that in your new van.
Yeah, I parked there and kind of camped out there the night before. And
you dirtbagged it in the shagging wagon, dude?
I
Sweet.
did.
It's a swagger wagon.
In Vandorf, I call it Vandorf the Gray. So
you
yeah,
shall not pass.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So I hung out there, and then Crutchley showed up in the morning, and I had breakfast, had coffee and everything, and oatmeal, and then we went for a run together, and we came back, and all the stuff was there. So it was like, and then Brian Roccapriori and Stacy Clark and Will Jara and Celeste and a couple.
Stacy Clark.
Yeah, I mentioned. Yep, Stacy was there.
Crutch was there.
And Crutchley.
Our Byram was there. We took a selfie.
Hey, yeah, was there. And the alpacas were.
They were there.
That's what I was wondering if they were there. I didn't see any pictures.
You just missed them.
Yeah.
They were there, but you just missed them.
Fucking, I call shenanigans. This is bullshit. There were no alpacas. I was so sad.
There were dogs.
And that's why did you come in and out so quick? I was like, all right, well, fuck you, posers. There's no alpacas later.
Can you
I'm
prove
ready for my
that
close up? And
can you prove that there were no alpacas there?
I never saw.
I don't think so. Well,
no one brought an alpaca up.
Yeah, but you can't prove a negative.
They don't
you were
stay
top
the
10,
whole
right?
time. They're only there part of the time, so you might not see them.
So should I run slower or faster? What are you trying to tell me?
Both.
Yes.
They left when they knew you were coming.
That's right.
I held back as much as I could for the first 19 miles. Guys,
alpacas ain't stupid. They
for
know.
Real though,
they fucking know.
Can I talk about cramping? Or are we at the stage of the
alpacas are about cramping? Yes, we're here to talk about. Yes, tell us about Jimmy. I do want to hear this though.
Oh my god!
First of all, how about I interview you for this, and then Becky can jump in. So, had you ever run the Nipmuck Marathon before?
Yes,
you had. In what year?
I said that earlier in the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 2019.
Okay.
There's a picture of me, you, and Tony.
Yeah,
and the alpaca. That is on the Nipmuck Ultra sign up page.
Correct. That's right.
As like a rotated. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I was pissed. There was no alpacas because I wanted to be reunited.
Allegedly. Okay. Um, it takes two, Jimmy. No means no. Yes
You are
means
really good
yes.
at drawing out terrible jokes. I have to say that. You will let it just keep pulling it on for an hour. Dude.
Yes.
Keep going. Let's go.
There's no gators here, though. It's not Maine. Okay. Anyway, so tell us about, so you lined up. How were you feeling at the starting line?
I think I ate, my breakfast was too big.
So you're feeling slightly bloated?
I didn't eat for like the first 40 minutes because I was like, I didn't take a gel or anything for 40 minutes because I was like, I ate a ginormous, this bowl of oatmeal was like 2 pounds. And I was like, I want to get like 500 calories in. I think that'd be great. But like, it was too much. It was like a brick in my stomach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you did the how did it start out? Like, did you sprint to the front?
No, I always start at the front because I'm like, hey, people want to step on claim space, but like then I just let everybody go. And the first like what's it 6.5 miles out or 6 miles to the turnaround. I was just cruising, I was just having fun. That's a really lovely section of trail, like all of that. The entire out the south and north part are just really cool.
Do we want to tell our listeners a little bit about the format of the Nipmuck Marathon?
Yes, please.
Yes.
That would be great.
Who wants to have? You want me to take this one, or you want to get this one?
Thanks, Cherie.
Kelsey, do you want to do that?
Sure, I can do that. So yeah, the race starts actually at the midpoint, and it does a little loop-de-loop at the beginning and then heads south. So you kind of run south out and back, and then you get back to the start finish, and then you run north out and back. They call it, or we call it, two halves, but really the first half is like 12-ish miles and the second half is like 14-ish miles and probably double the vert of the first half. So usually the second half takes people a lot longer.
So if I get this right, so it's two halves and you start in the middle, and so you're basically halfway done before you start, and then like, I don't know, it's like, I think it's like a quarter marathon, right?
Yeah,
basically.
And I mean, I kind of, one of the things I love about it is when you're running, you see everybody else who's running because you're doing two out and backs.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not like a loop race where you kind of just see the same couple people for the whole thing. Like you're literally seeing everybody.
And you get to see
twice. Yeah.
You get to see them, you know, you get to see them as they're coming back. So you get to see where you are in line. You get to see who's out front, and you know, it is encouraging, right? I mean, as a runner, I love that format. You know, that's a good feeling. So, okay, so yeah, I like that's good, and also from logistically, that's a good way to keep it, because as race directors, you guys also are really easily able to control that, because you could probably have two sweepers, right? Two separate people to sweep who don't have to do the whole thing, and they can end up where they started if they wanted, you know.
Yeah, this year we had kind of like two sets of sweepers. So, well, we had two different, I guess kind of two sets. So on the southern end, so like Scott Johnson swept the southern half of the course for us. So I drove him to the end. And that's what's nice is like if you have to get in your car and like head out to one of the other spots, it's all pretty close. So I drove him to the southern end and dropped him off so that he could sweep in. And behind him, we had two volunteers, Taryn and Mir, that were out with Kelsey at the Southern Turnaround. And then they hiked in and pulled all the markings for us when they came through. And then,
okay.
Yeah. And then Andy Meisler, he swept the entirety of the northern section. So he started in Perry Hill. He went out and back. So he went up. And then as he swept back through, he cleared and pulled markings for us as well. So that was like a huge help. And I don't think we did it that way last year. We went back around after the race and picked everything up, and it was much more efficient to do it that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he got them all from Boston Hollow. Did he or no?
He started a little bit late. Kelsey got the ones from the bridge, like up the stairs.
I drove to all the like northern water drops, and then I picked up the flags that were a little bit past Boston Hollow.
Yeah. So I think you guys did whoever marked did you guys mark the course yourself?
Yeah, so Kelsey marked the southern section and I marked the northern section.
Yeah, I got to say the northern section was like a clinic on how to mark a course. Like there was a couple portions because on our warm-up run we did that, and a couple sections where it's like you could see the trail naturally wanted to go a different way after crossing like a little, gravel road, and you were like, "Fuck you!" You put some posts in the road, and that said like pay attention, and then there were like 20 different markers, and then you like if you wanted to turn you would have to be like really challenged to be able to like not get that right, because it was like clear as day which way to go, on a section that was difficult.
Well, this year, after last year, we didn't do like a very formal debrief, but one of the things like we followed instructions that Dave gave us to do, and a lot of it, and I think because it is all on the blue blaze, the instruction is to follow the blue blazes.
Yes.
And actually, Nipmuck Dave, or the original Nipmuck Dave, he's awesome. He loves the trails. He freshened up all of the blazes like on the entire course this year.
Yeah.
He went through with his paint, freshened up all of the blazes, and did so much trail work in general on the course.
Yeah.
But, last year I think primarily marked like the road intersections, or where the trail crossed something. And then there were other spots where we put bigger signs, but we really didn't go into the trail and put up other kinds of markings. And we have one person that kind of got lost, and she got really, really far off course. So for me personally, I was like, nobody's getting lost this year. Like we are going to mark this thing. Nobody's getting lost.
Yeah.
So, I think we did. I don't know if we overmarked. I mean, I had a lot of flags with me when I went out. I used all of them that I took with me. I had in my backpack. I used them all, but I felt like anywhere I saw that somebody might veer off there because it looked like instead of going this way, it should go this way. I just made sure the flags went across so that there wouldn't really be any question.
Yeah,
that's great.
On the southern end, I also marked, I flagged any of the spots where I thought you could turn off, but then there were also large sections where I didn't put any flags because it was literally only the blue trail. And so like runners are supposed to follow the blue trail.
Yeah.
Had a couple people complain that they got lost on the southern end, but I'm not sure how they did it. And one of them might have stepped over multiple flags and an arrow to go the wrong way. So
yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but it doesn't make it right. So
that's a user error right there.
Yeah.
Although this kind of reminds me, sorry, when you said that, and it's like the absurdity, it is when Art and I did his Stone Cat last year, and I was in front of him and he was behind me, and I turned back and I say, Art, I think we went the wrong way. And he's like, no, we're not going the wrong way. And I'm like, no, but I haven't seen any blue markers. And he goes, no, but we haven't gone the wrong way because I've been following you the whole time. I'm like, I know you've been following me the whole time, but I haven't seen any blue. And this really took like a legitimate, like solid minute of back and forth. He's like, I'm like, but you were following me and I wasn't following markers. And he's like, yeah, but everywhere you turned, I went with you and turned with you. I'm like, again, you were following someone that didn't know where they were going. And then you're like, all right, but I knew that you didn't get it. And then it was like 20 seconds later that he was like, oh, right.
That was the rabbit.
No, we're definitely going the right way because I followed you. I didn't get off course following you. I'm like, but I wasn't going the right way.
Yeah, it was.
So these crazy things happen where you can see somebody stepping on flags and being like, where's the flag? I don't see it.
It makes sense. It made sense at the time.
That's when Southern people would be like, bless your heart, right? Is that what they would say? To somebody?
Yes.
Bless your heart. But also,
but we'd be like, listen, he's like our Florida man, so.
Gotcha. So, So Jimmy, you ran out the front end, right? You ran out and came back. How'd you feel halfway?
The highlight of that was seeing Jillian at the road crossing. Her energy was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about the road.
Jillian Ellefson was in charge of the Route 44 road crossing. And yeah, I'd be jumping guardrails to hang out with that lady. Yeah, it was cool.
Truth.
Yeah, so that is a key intersection because it's not just like a random road. It's not a highway, but people, the road. It kind of is like a roller coaster. People come zooming down through there, literally like 65 miles an hour, and you have to go over the guardrail to get onto the road off the trail, cross the road, and then go back down towards the south end. So, we had a volunteer signed up to do that, and then he called me the day before that he was not feeling well and wouldn't be able to make it, wanted to give me enough time. And Jillian's sort of like, I'm here to do whatever needs to be done, like whatever extra job, and like she crushed that job. She had her yellow jacket. She made sure nobody went out darting onto the road because it could be dangerous. So she really did a great job for that. And you're out there quite a while because, we had early starters at 7:00. We had a big group of early starters, which was nice. And so she was there for their crossing, and then for the second group to come back on the return trip. So she was out there quite a while.
And at one point, did she have people coming both ways or no? She could have, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so because it's only the crossing's only a mile in. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay. So I want to do. I do want to talk about because people who are like one observation of this race that I think has been consistent ever since I've attended is that this is a marathon, but it feels like an ultra. Like the vibe there and the culture.
It technically is not a marathon.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So what's the distance of the race?
2/10 of a mile over a marathon. But you're right. It does feel like something that's because I've gone to 50Ks where it kind of feels like a marathon. But going to Nipmuck when you go, it's like definitely the vibe of it and everything. It feels like you're at an ultra.
Yeah, because like a marathon, you get like you think water stop and Gatorade, right? But like so how far is this race?
26.4.
I think it depends on your watch. Yeah.
Yes.
I got 26.35 and I was like, this tracks. This
nice. Right on. Yeah.
I ran the tangents. I aggressively cornered and I ran all those tangents. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, there was a point when I was like inside this turn, like off of that other road crossing on the northern section, whatever. And I was like, I'm running like 7-minute pace right here. And I was like, and I kind of like had to aggressively corner around the guardrail, and there was a raccoon there, and I had to elbow the raccoon out of my way.
Don't kill a raccoon.
That never happened, actually.
He tried to cut you off to get in the lead. He's like, I'm top 10 now.
Jimmy, I thought that was at the finish as you were heading into the chute.
Yeah, exactly. There's some parts of this course that are so insanely beautiful. Like, I'm like, how is this Connecticut? And also, you guys are like a week ahead of us with fall. Like, I remember I was like, there's not this many leaves down south. And like, also, down south. I mean, I live an hour away from Ashford, Connecticut, in Hamden. But like legit, like like I don't get to run on. It doesn't look like that around here. It's there. That's all granite. Like I run on trap rock. Like, it's like different. It's really short, steep, kind of like some of these climbs are doable. Like this course is still pretty runnable. At the turnaround, you have to go up some stairs, whatever. But like, I ran most of the whole return of the second half, whatever. I think I cramped like crazy. I cramped like I haven't cramped in years.
So where did tell us about these cramps, Jimmy? Where did the cramps start?
I cramped in my groin, dude. Oh, where did they start? They started probably
not where did they start? What mile did they start? Jimmy? We didn't need to know don't use the word groin. You're making our listeners uncomfortable.
You gotta say giblets.
So they started on that climb.
Jabbles.
So I passed a bunch of dudes on the out. And I was like, okay, but I was like still running what I felt was really conservative, whatever. So when I hit the turnaround, I was like, all right, it's go time. Like this show up and blow up, show up and throw up, whatever, whichever one happens first is kind of what I was doing, And I put headphones in and I was like, let's just fucking party. And I didn't pass anybody, I think really I passed a bunch of dudes on the third leg. The guys, I just remember thinking really early in the race, especially at the turnaround, at that first part, I was like, there's a lot of people working a little too hard right now. And those are maybe 5 or 6 or 7 dudes that were directly in front of me that I caught up to and passed. And I think this is, if you run under 5 hours on this course, I think this is a pretty tough course. But Winter did 3:30. So, it's like, but then again, James is probably like I would think James is like a 2:40 marathoner.
Yes. Yeah. James
And
Boating.
I saw Brian Rosecki was back. I haven't seen his name.
He was like 4th or 5th.
Yeah,
he was
great
4th
to see him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So James Boating, we had him on last year on the episode, and very, very interesting guy,
Yeah,
and,
I met him at one of Jacques' going away parties, and I was like, I have to call you Jimmy, dude. Like James is like fucking, you're not a James. That's like such a square fucking name, dude. He's like, yeah, I don't know. It just stuck. And so I saw him at the race, at the turnaround. He came back to me I was at mile, I don't know, 18 or whatever. And he was at probably 23 or whatever. And I was like, what's up, Jimmy?
And just then he caught a rock with his toe and went down hard.
He was like, today I'm Jimmy. And I was like, rad. But he looked awful. And then like maybe 3 minutes behind him, I see Dan Rogos. I was like, dude, Dan, you look so much better than Jimmy right now.
Well, when they came through the aid station at 19, James looked amazing.
Yeah.
Like he was just high fives gone. And then he drank something and it made him puke at Iron Mine.
Nice.
Is what Lori was telling me. Yeah.
Oh, he drank some of that Iron Mine shit, right? Not like Alpacaville Gold, right?
He literally took one
the runoff, like
it.
the silver nitrate runoff, like
Iron Mine. It's an iron mine. Why would you drink anything from an iron mine? Like, isn't that in the name?
Drink the water.
Oh my goodness!
Don't drink the water.
But he was moving, but he looked like he looked white. And like his eyes were like really deep set, how like when like you look like you're dehydrated, basically, whatever. And he he ran an hour faster than me. So I hit that turnaround and I started cramping like only like 5 minutes out of the aid station. It was in the calves first. It was like the calf, like the I'm like, someone shoot me in the calves, damn it. And,
that was me. Sorry. I was aiming for your butt. But I got the calf.
That's like I always think like it's what it feels like in Forrest Gump when Bubba gets shot. He's like, something bit me. It's like that's what it feels like. You're like, something fucking biting my calves right now. What the fuck is this? And then I think it was like on one of the first downhills, I started cramping. It was probably like a mile later. I started cramping in my groin because I couldn't like stretch out my stride. And I was like, shit. Okay. And I was like, all right, then if I can like get my knees up high, then I probably won't fall here or whatever. Cause like, I was like, I don't want to cramp like while I'm trying to get over rocks and shit. Anyway, it was worth the price of admission. Like I fucking suffered greatly. I had a blast.
Excellent.
I was just sad. I didn't pass anybody on that last part. Cause I felt like I ran really hard.
You mean, Alda, you're saying from Alpacaville back, you didn't pass anybody?
No, I passed everybody on the third leg on the way out to
There's nobody left.
That's unusual.
There was a train of dudes that were like right behind me. Like there was like a bunch of folks I passed on the out. And then I kind of just like ran scared. I realized after like I hit the aid station, whatever, and I had a sip of Coke and threw out all my trash. And they were like, that's all you want? I was like, I'm fine. Like I was like, I should probably be drinking water at some point, but I don't know. And then I ran that long road section, like around the whole thing.
You ran back up the hill?
I didn't catch anybody. Yeah. Like, and the finisher right in front of me was like 8 minutes in front of me. So like, I wouldn't even have caught him.
Yeah. You weren't, it's not, you know what? That
I was sad
happen.
that I ran alone so much too. I ran alone. I ran the first section. Cheryl Wheeler is like the queen of the Catskills, right? Like she, I just was like, she's probably the smartest runner in this race. I'm just going to run with her for as long as I can. And then at some point, I'm just going to try to run really hard. I figured she's probably the Brian. I'm not running with Brian Rosecki. He's probably the other smartest runner in this race. So I was like, I run with Cheryl Wheeler, and she's a badass, dude. Yeah, and she's a smart runner, and so that's what I did, and then I felt really good. I think at like 17 or so, and that's when I started running hard.
So I did notice something, Jimmy, that congratulations to you, because you won. Like, this is something that I always look at. I always look to see if there was anybody older than me that beat me. And there wasn't. So Jimmy, you were 10th place, but everybody who beat you was younger than you.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
So, that makes me feel good.
That's like an old guy, old guy evaluation, right?
No, I'm gonna be 48 in like 6 weeks. So giddy up.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I told people, I was like, that's why I'm shaving my beard, because it's so much gray in it now, and I'm so vain. I
did not think that's what you were going to say.
Me neither.
What do you think I was going to say? What do you think I was going to say?
No, we don't even need to say it, Beck. We're on it's the same.
I was like, wow, that's a real
You're
way
shaving
to...
your... Okay.
Did you get it now? I was like,
anyway.
Wow, he's coming out guns blazing. Or gun blazing is what I should say.
Oh my lordy.
Oh my God.
Well,
I was
okay,
like,
so
wow, I
missed
never
you,
thought
Becky.
that would be like, I'm 48 and,
decided I need to
some...
feel younger here, kind of like,
Was it if you dare be bare, use nair?
Yeah, there you go.
What would happen if I
Who
put
wears
nair
short
on
shorts?
Wait, so that ladies leg hair remover from like the 1980s is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would that do to my face? Would that fuck my face up?
Yeah.
Like, would it burn?
I
Do
mean,
you
it
think
might.
your face
Yeah,
is more sensitive than other delicate parts? Like,
I
is
would
that
be
what you're
really
saying?
more interested to see if it affected the jabs or the jibs or the whole jibbles and jabbles. Like, did it affect all of it?
We have to have a section of trail at this Halloween run that is called like Becky's Jibble Trail or something like that.
Oh.
This is the Becky's Jibble Rocks.
Oh, sorry. Anyways.
Did you guys know that Art actually hexed somebody at the race?
Oh, fuck. This is, you guys got it. Celeste, thank you so much for bringing this up.
Art, I know we've been recording for, are you recording? Did you hit record?
Yes.
Good?
I think so, right?
It says recording.
Yeah. So Jimmy and guys, this happened, and I'm not making this up.
No, really, I was there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll even have Celeste if you have the accurate play-by-play on how it happened.
You go. I'll correct you though. I promise.
So
unless you're giving me cash, I accept sports cars.
So the stairs, down the stairs, and then just after the stairs, we would see the runners coming in through the woods, and you can just barely see them from the bottom of the stairs to come into Alpacaville. And I looked up and I saw some papaya running through the woods, and I said, "Oh, look at that!" I said, "Is that Tony Bonanno?" And as soon as I said that, do you know what happened to that runner?
Fell down.
Anybody?
Oh no!
Did he slip on a banana peel?
Yes, basically.
Down.
He fucking went down hard.
Yeah.
Wipe out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even. It wasn't
Technical
even Tony
fall.
Bonanno. I just had to say, "Is that Tony Bonanno?" And I directed it towards a runner, and he all of a sudden just like wham, hit the ground,
power
and he didn't
of
get right
New
up.
York and falling.
Art, this is how Art is going to launch his Cultra brand voodoo dolls. You're going to make a voodoo doll. You're going to make a voodoo doll of your least favorite ultra runner, and then you're just going to fucking jab it with pens and pins and sticks and shit, right?
Well, no, Tony and I are going into business. He's got to license his name to me.
So, I finally met Tony's daughter, and I told her to come run Blue to Blue next year, and I was like, you know what? If you run it in jean shorts, I'll let you run it for free.
In shorts.
Ooh.
To honor her dad's legacy of running that race in jean shorts.
Oh my!
I think that would be awesome.
Hey, Art, remember that time you and Cherie came in an hour and 45 minutes after the cutoff at Blue to Blue? That was so fun.
I think it was much more than an hour and 45 minutes after, Jimmy. It was like a day and a half.
Poor
after.
Cherie and Karen. Poor Cherie and Karen.
It was Karen. It wasn't Cherie.
It was Karen. I was in front of Karen and Art, but
Yes.
not by a whole heck of a lot.
They're like a
dead.
tractor beam. They sucked you in, Cherie, and you were probably like going to have a nice finish, and then they just sucked you in.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, and then all of a sudden it was like
It was
running
cramping.
along, and then all
We
of a
had
sudden it was
cramping.
like the next day.
And I had my bladder problem. That was my problem.
Oh, that's so painful.
Oh, yeah.
I had cramping at mile 12 or 11 of that race.
Jeez.
Not a record by far, but still, it was tough. Okay, so we had James Boating, right? So he got first. Daniel Rogas got. So how do you pronounce Daniel's last name?
I think that's
Anybody?
right. That sounds about right. I met his dad, and I think he said it that way, and I was like, okay, cool.
Rogas, yeah.
Rogas, yeah.
We
Another
are known
fast-
for pronouncing correctly, so.
When did you
Rogo
start caring,
Z.
Byron? Byron, when did you start caring about pronouncing people's names right?
I know.
Really?
And then Ryan Myler got third place. So from Manchester. Yeah, and 3:30 at that top time. That's a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He beat last year's
By how much?
like I forgot, a minute and a half. I don't know.
Yeah, his time from last year. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was real close.
So I think the course record is something crazy, like 3 hours and something seconds.
It's
Yeah.
3:01:51
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
from
That's just
1991.
offensive.
It's really
Yeah.
That's amazing though, and cool that it's from 1991. That it's been
In
there for that long.
in
I'm gonna
1991,
break
the
it
race
next
was held in Boston. So no. I'm
Well, no,
kidding.
wait, back then, it was that like hydration, like your handheld was like just like a can of Coke, like duct taped to your hand, right? Like that. They didn't.
No, it was an
they
Aunt
ran with- they
Jemima.
ran with Aunt Jemima bottles.
That's right, Aunt Jemima syrup bottle. You know.
I want to start
no,
a trend
it
of like
actually-
starting to run with SodaStream bottles.
And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here. Now, as I understand it, used to be like a summer race, right?
It did, yeah.
I think it used to be
Oh
in
right,
June.
yes, I remember.
Yeah, I
that's when I
just
first
looked.
started doing them.
That race in 1991 was on June 2nd.
Okay, all right.
That's insane. Like that's a half an hour faster
Yeah,
than the guy that won this year. Like that's
that is like a 3-hour marathon, right?
I mean that's
But-
fast.
It's fast.
Yeah,
So
and
that's probably
Nipmuck
like that
Dave
dude's probably
seems-
like a 220 guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Nipmuck
he'd
Dave
probably run
seems to
220.
think that the course is like really pretty comparable. So
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
That's I believe it that
Yeah,
it is.
he's
so.
pretty particular about wanting to keep it as close as possible so that records can stand and can stay, be measured the same.
Yes.
So, yeah.
No, that's good. And then on the female side, we had Emma Dolan, right? First
She
place.
came into Alpacaville like she was just on a 2-mile stroll.
yeah.
She looked so strong. It was
Yes,
crazy.
Yep. And then Cheryl Wheeler, second, which is again
such a nice-
amazing.
I like her. She's really nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4:49. That's
Yeah,
faster than I ever did
barely
it, I think.
broke 5 hours once, and I felt like I gave everything I had. I
And
was
she
like,
did,
I don't have any more.
yeah,
And she
she
probably was like walking on her hands.
she did
Cheryl-
Cat's Tail the week before too.
Oh,
So
right,
she did
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Oh, the catnip double.
Oh yeah, and that was who else did that? Karen and Anna.
Anna G.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Karen Prado and Anna Garston. So I don't know if people know what that is, just so we can plug that. So it's if
Yes.
you do the Cat's Tail Trail Marathon in the Catskills in upstate New York, and also run the Nipmuck Trail Marathon in Ashford, it's considered the catnip double, and you get a special little prize for doing that. A recognition prize is a pint glass. That's what we gave away.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, that's a cool challenge. And this sometimes they're back to back, like day to day back to back, and sometimes
Yeah.
they're like a
Right,
week
yeah.
apart. It depends on when each of the races fall, but it's a cool challenge
It
to
is.
do.
I
Yeah.
did that back in
I'm gonna look at your
16,
ultra sign up. And
I think.
Oh, is that right?
Something.
I'm gonna look at
I
your
don't know.
ultra sign up.
I
right
forget
now.
what year it was, but I did it both. I did the catnip double, which was fun because actually you do catnip and just the sleeping challenges, just to get your ass back home and then to have to wake up the next morning. That was the hard part. Cat's tail was tough, but like I didn't end up running enough to make it painful. The Nipmuck marathon hurt a lot more because there was a lot more running involved with it for me, my opinion.
2016,
and then
yes, Byram, stout times, dude.
What'd I get?
You ran 6:44 at Cat's Tail, and then the next day you ran 5:04 at Nipmuck, dude.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
I'll take
Back
it.
to
Good for
back.
you.
That's a hell of a weekend, my guy.
Yeah, it is. Fuck yeah.
That was only 8 years ago.
I know. A lot happened these last 8 years. Jimmy, how do we say have not been kind to me?
No, they have been kind to you. You ran
I
as
know.
fast times at Badger like 2 years ago, 3 years. Shit, that was 3 years ago now, huh?
Like I said, the last 3 years have not been kind to me. No.
You're retired. Start training, dude. Come on.
Oh, I am.
Let's get.
Listen,
Yeah.
what's
What's coming up?
Your
What do you got?
Garmin, you ever read your Garmin fitness score
No,
or your Strava thing?
No,
Mine,
that's bullshit.
Mine looks like the stock market. Mine is like doing.
But wait, are we buying? Are we buying? Or are we selling? What are we doing, Byron? That's like you didn't tell us what we.
You don't want to buy anything right now. It's over. It's like in a bubble right now. I did 24 miles like I was sleeping today.
Listen, and then
meaning that
Byron,
I did it at like a 15-minute mile.
Art, listen to this. After Nipmuck, 3 weeks later, you ran a 5:39 at Bimblers.
Okay.
That was the day we met. Right here.
One of the days we met.
October 23rd, 2016.
I thought we met we met at Trap Rock.
No, we met at Bimblers. I wasn't at Trap Rock in 2016. Trust me.
When did you run Trap Rock?
2017.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. I met Andy O at Trap Rock, but I met you. I already met you.
Okay.
And I was already tired. And I was already tired of your shit 5 minutes into meeting you.
Hold on. I was already tired of your shit from Twitter. You were my Twitter friend, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's Simon.
How I knew you. I knew you and Simon before. That's what I say. Like I knew you guys I knew Art from the FKT board and Twitter.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's active on Twitter. That's fucking weird.
Yeah. That's when I was
Is Twitter still a thing?
Yes.
Oh.
It's called
Isn't it
X.
like a different name, isn't it? X?
Yeah.
Kind of like when Prince
but nobody's
became
calling
symbol.
it that because and I think it's pissing Elon off when nobody calls it that.
Stupid.
So everyone still calls it Twitter.
I want to be called
Jack
T-Bone. I want to be called T-Bone, Yeah. And somebody hacked my account there too.
I never use that, but I got some kind of email from them like that I should change my password. And I'm like, I don't even know how to get in there.
Right? Who remembers that shit?
Yeah, I've never had. I don't even know that I ever had a page.
So Emma, so it was also mentioned that 2 out of the 3 top female finishers were named Emma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you name the third place woman was Emma Dixon?
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't remember whether I said it 3 times or whether I hadn't mentioned it yet. So Emma Dixon, yes.
So can I don't know, I don't want to change the, I mean, it's still about Nipmuck, but I have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask our new RDs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
And I just like,
what are your questions?
So this is both of you guys. This is your first time that you've RD'd a race, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So what was the biggest surprise as far as what you didn't expect in race directing? Where you were like, oh wow, this is a lot different than I thought, or a lot harder, or a lot easier? Or, like, any surprises, like wearing that RD hat?
Well, so Cherie is the super organized one.
It is.
And I'm kind of the opposite. You know,
No, we are not. We're not.
I mean, I did a good amount of stuff, but leading up to it was all kind of like, oh, yeah, today I think I might look at some shirts and pick one out. That sounds good. Like, it wasn't in any sort of like organized way. I would just kind of like, oh, maybe today I'll do this. And Cherie was like super, super organized.
No, that's a facade. So then I'd be like, oh shit, she's doing that. Damn, I better go do this over here. So then I'd go do so. She's gonna do shirts. Okay, I better go buy some stuff.
The week of, I felt like she got everything really in order. Like, she, you know, put all the boxes of supplies and all the aid station stuff and like sorted it all out, and she got all that done. But then on race day, I guess the biggest, what you're asking, the biggest surprise for me, and this isn't necessarily race directing itself, but you know, after we started the race, I didn't quite, because I'm disorganized, I didn't quite process like how fast the runners, the front runners, would get to the turnaround. So I was just kind of hanging around shooting the shit, you know. I still had to deliver the runner list to the turnaround. And by the time I got there, like 20 runners had already turned around. So that'll definitely be, that was a surprise. That'll be a lesson for next year. But
it was the Eastern kids there, so they were probably like, what? There were runners here? And they stopped here?
You know, my fault, like, I knew Mari and Taryn were going to go. So the Eastern kids were at Mason Road doing the aid station, but then Mari and Taryn had to walk to the turnaround point, which was like right before where the beavers made the mess. And I should have sent a text at some point that said, hey, Mari and Taryn, you need to like start walking. Like, we just started the race. You need to walk to the turnaround, because I guess they were still walking to the turnaround and like the front runners like blasted by them.
Oh, wow.
And I hadn't gotten the list to them yet, but like it all worked out. You know, I'm pretty sure that everyone turned around at the turnaround, and it all came together. You know, Nipmuck Dave was like shouting at people to turn around and stuff.
Yeah, I always feel like there's like these little things that you're like last year, like we learned, at least I did, I learned some lessons last year. Like, I put the you know how you have the bib, and then at the bottom is this like this little tear piece that like they collect at the end. So I made the bibs last year. Oh, and I want to really thank Tony, because Tony B, because he really helped us out with he prepared the bibs. Like, well, I put stickers on them and then I gave him the pile, but he did the bib assignments in Ultra Sign Up and the runner lists and the timing. He and Kate helped us, his daughter, with the timing, which that timing scares me. So I was like, yes, thank you so much for doing the timing. But last year I made the stickers, and I'm poking them on the bibs. I thought I did this good job, and then we got there in the morning. I was like, oh, I put the sticker in the wrong place. I was supposed to put the sticker on the tear tag, but I put it on the actual bib. And I was like, okay, shouldn't do that next year. Like, I think you just make little mistakes. So you just have to learn from them. So that was a big one that I was like, okay, I didn't even think about that when I was making them.
Gotcha. Trying to figure out the timing of runners to get to certain spots reminds me of the Cut 112 this year. Right, Cherie?
Yes.
Where the finisher, I had to miss the start of the 50 mile and get to the finish line to meet Justin Kowski, because he was like 12 hours ahead of like human pace or whatever. It was, you know, because he was booking it so fast. So
Cherie, was there anything that was surprising to you as a new RD?
You know, it's a lot of preparation, a lot of work. Well, I think like Kelsey said, I'm organized, but like I'm a procrastinator too. So like I said, some things you leave till the end, and there's probably some stuff I left go too late. So, I wouldn't do that again next year. I would probably start preparing some things a little bit sooner, just so I'm not like up so late and a couple nights before. But I like one thing, like at the end of the day, Saturday or Sunday, I kept looking at Perry Hill and all the stuff that's there. So, what we do is take everything out and deliver it to people, and then they bring it back to Perry Hill. And so all this stuff starts piling up at Perry Hill, and I'm going, oh my God, how are we going to get everything out of here? Like, I have a car, but not a giant car. It's like, are we going to be able to fit this all in the cars so that we can get it out of here? And the race got done. The last two runners came through, and then everything was packed up, and we're out of there at like 4:20. And I was like, whoa, this was my biggest worry of the entire day, was how to get everything out of Perry Hill. And it just happened. Everybody like just descends, takes stuff, packs cars. I mean, it's from a supply standpoint, now it's like my garage has like 10 tables and 8, coolers and bins, and it's like the whole one bay of the garage is like covered in stuff, and we'll have to figure out how to like get it back to where it needs to go for club storage and stuff. But I think that was like a pleasant surprise that we were able to just get everything out of there and not leave any trash behind or anything like that. So that was really, I don't know if it was a surprise, but
with this being a race that it's been around for a while, and taking a quick look, I recognized a lot of the names. So I'm assuming like that makes a big difference when you're RDing a race where most of the people know what they're getting themselves into. They've gotten themselves into it before. They're not rookies or anything. Was there anything with either of you in regards to just, with people finishing and I know sometimes RDs like will say like just watching people finish, like the emotion of it, and or like which is what I thought Kelsey was going to say was that, because I know Jimmy said this, and I think B-Rock said this, is that on their races in the past, it's like you do all this work and then the gun goes off and everybody leaves, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're all gone.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, especially in the week leading up to it, that I just had a lot of, nervousness of like, how is this all going to come together? And it's exactly like you said, like, the gun goes off and they all go, and it's like, okay, like they're off now. And then of course there's still like moving parts, with the different aid stations and cleaning stuff up. But it was pretty cool to see it all come together. And I think one really special moment was just seeing Nipmuck Dave finish at the end. I think he was really ecstatic because he finished in under 8 hours this year and beat his time by last year by almost 2 whole hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's like, I think we commented on it during when we were doing trail maintenance. Like he's on a different level right
with
now.
Those sticks.
Yeah. And actually sometimes now he's been, because he had a knee replacement, I think a couple years ago, year and a half ago. So sometimes he's even running without them, more on level terrain, more like roads or bike path type stuff. But yeah, sometimes he's even running without the sticks.
Good for him. That's
I think he's running Bimblers this year. Yeah, he just messaged us today, and I was like, "Oh, Bimblers, that's exciting."
Oh,
wow!
I've been thinking about that. Like, how is that 2 weeks away?
I think so. Yeah. So I don't know if we want to kind of plug the Blue Blaze series.
Let's do that. Sure.
So the Nipmuck Marathon is so this year it's the 10th of 12 races in the race series. So it's a series of races. I think, like I said, there's 12 throughout the season, like the spring season, to basically bring awareness to the Blue Blaze trails. All of them use at least some part of at least one Blue Blaze trail. actually Dom Wilson organizes that. He does all of the tracking on each side, and there's a couple different categories this year. There's like the Blue Blaze champion, so the person with the most points, like there's a point system. There's a Magnificent Seven, so if you do 7 out of the 12 events, there's a special award for that this year, and then there's a Dirty Dozen award this year, so runners that participate in all 12 events in the series. So Nipmuck is the 10th. The next one coming up is Mohawk, which I think is next week, and then Bimblers is the week after that.
So you can't do the Mo Bimble.
The Mo Bimble.
Where you do Mohawk one day and Bimbler's Bluff the next day. So
well, you could, right? Oh, it's not the same day, right?
It's not the same weekend.
It's not the same weekend,
Yeah.
I guess it's separated, so you can.
I think that's harder than the catnip, personally.
Yeah. But yeah, for the people who are doing all of them, I mean, it's a lot of races in a row, especially with Tunxis right before Nipmuck.
Oh, wow. Okay, because Tunxis is part of that as well, huh?
Yeah, so I think Tunxis was maybe the week before Nipmuck.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so
I think so.
I think James Boding and Dan Ragaz told me that it was like 4 or 5 races all back-to-back weekends.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's so yeah, that series has grown every year, right? I mean, it's just gotten a little bit more I guess thought out and stuff. So good luck to everybody doing that. You don't have any stats on who's in the lead right now, do you, by any chance, Cherie? I know that was kicking around.
Somebody just posted.
No, I do right here. It's
okay.
Ryan currently. So yeah, I think this is current. Dom keeps it pretty. So Ryan Miller is in the lead right now on the men's side with
our 3rd place finisher.
Yep, with Reza Bergman in 2nd, Brian O'Hanlon 3rd, Matthew Barnett.
That's Amy Jennifer Hanlon's Irish cousin. So,
and then on the women's side, Melissa Pogwizd Bertelle, she's in 1st, Carrie Bland is 2nd, and Suzanne Salemi is 3rd so far. Salami, as we might say in Cultra.
What that one from, Cherie?
Well, this is on the website, so I don't know if it's as updated as the.
It doesn't have Nipmuck in it yet.
I'm looking at a Blue Blaze like Facebook.
Oh yeah, no, Nipmuck's not on here yet.
Yeah, so for the women now, I think it's Carrie Blanda is 1st, if I'm saying that correctly, and then Suzanne Salimi 2nd, and then Michelle McSally. She was at Nipmuck. Michelle McSally was there this year.
That name.
Sounds like salad, right? McSalad, like fast food salad or something.
Sure.
Okay, so we got all the food
but
groups
I like
covered.
it.
That's great. Well, that's that's dedication to do that much racing, and those are some pretty tough trails too. So well done.
Do you guys think that I mean, it's probably too, but do you see race directing in your continued race directing, not necessarily Nipmuck, not to put you on the spot for Nipmuck, but is race directing something that either of you are like, oh, wow, I really, I'd like to create a race, or is it, this is a good adventure, I might do it again, I'm not sure, like, I don't know, it's like some people get into the like that where it just sparks this interest of they kind of want to go in that direction of kind of creating races and stuff. And I don't know, I just don't know what you guys thought.
I mean, I think for me, I'm definitely going to keep doing, Nipmuck while I'm around here, at least, for the next few years. But, I also work a full-time job. And so I feel like not being the most organized person, I don't really foresee myself taking on like a bunch of races. I think I would just stick to just Nipmuck for myself.
Yeah, I'm Me too. I like doing this. I think it's a lot of fun. I like working with Kelsey, and last year when they were looking for someone or people that were interested in taking over because Dave moved. He moved to Florida, and that's why they needed someone to step up and take Nipmuck on. I mean, I just felt like I've wanted to give back to the trail community. I mean, I think I've found this a good place for myself. I really enjoy the running, the trail running. I enjoy the people and the friends and everybody that I've met through trail running and the Schnipsit Striders, the Trail Mixers, all the groups in Connecticut. And I felt like I wanted to give back. And I'm also one of those, my husband's not here, he'll tell me, I'm one of those people who can't not take the ball. If somebody says, who wants to do this? And I'm always like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So
well,
you do a good
like,
job
don't take the
of
ball.
it,
yeah,
so.
I have to say that I have not heard a bad. I've only heard really, really good things about the job you guys did, and everything that I saw.
I just heard the bad. I didn't hear anything.
I won't repeat any of the bad by law. Fred said I can't.
The best thing about this marathon is the soup.
Oh yeah, I was wondering if the soup was going to come up. I'm eating a lot of soup leftovers this week.
I wish I could have took some home. I wish that I didn't know that was an option. I would have brought it. I had Tupperware.
Well, actually, so last year there was only.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's only a little bit left last year, but this year there was like half a pot, and in the craziness of packing up, like. Actually Clint's wife, Ellen, and brought two of her friends, and they were our chili masters. And, I'd kind of update them how many more runners were left because I'm like, I don't want to have leftovers. I don't want to have leftovers. Well, we had like half a pot left. And, so you try to get out of Perry Hill. So it was like they put the pot inside of it was like a cardboard box, and it ended up my house. So I'm like, oh, I got this like half a pot. So I've been eating chili all week. So I thought next year I have to go. It doesn't have meat in it. So
is that why you keep hitting the mute button?
It's so good.
Like, but
I should have like containers to take for people to take home. I was like, that's one thing I should do next year if we have leftovers, because now we've been eating.
Idea.
We had a good conversation. Well, no, what I was really going to say was the vibe at the finish line. Like, I didn't leave. I was one of the last people to leave because I just was like having fun, just talking shit with people. Like, it was really fun cheering people on into the finish. Yeah, it just was fun. It's like it's like an old school race, and that's like what I've always like.
Well, I think that's what we want to try to like preserve about this race is that old school vibe, that old school trail vibe. And I think that's one nice thing about, having that center race headquarters at Perry Hill. People come and hang out. You have the other parent brings the kids and they're cheering. This one mom, they had those funny signs like,
yes. Yep. Hurry up, Dad. This is boring.
Bored or something like that.
Yeah, like signs about farting, those are always fun. But people have their dog like hanging out, waiting for their family to finish. And it's just like a nice spot for everybody to just like kind of hang out and have fun, cheer. It's really nice. I like that.
I know it was the Nipmuck was my first trail ultra, and I still vividly remember showing up and being like, okay, I'm literally just parking on the side of this dirt road. I don't see where the start is, but I guess I'll walk towards where these people are, and just looking around, and everybody's in like running in like jean shorts or like shorts with like big holes in them, and looked like they just finished painting a house.
Bunch of hobos.
Just the whole vibe was so different. I remember Nipmuck Dave, like one of the things that you had to do is you had to bring a gallon of water. So everybody's like coming with a gallon of water, and then I remember like using the porta-john and going in, shutting the door, and then being like, what the heck? Like it was all like he decorated it. There was a blow up moose behind on the back wall, and I just was like,
you don't have one at home.
On?
Yeah.
Well, I do, but I don't put it there. But it was that I just thought that was so neat because it just you were around people that truly loved to run for the sake of running, and so I love that that's still the vibe.
Yeah, we want to
and I love that you guys did it.
Like more traditional race. We don't want to raise the prices. We want to keep it, accessible to anyone who wants to run it. And
that's right. Yeah, that's a good. You know what? Kelsey, I'm really glad you brought that up because this is a club run race put on by just a trail running club. It's not done to to feed corporate investors. It's just, you guys do raise money though, right? I mean, you cover your costs and then just, raise some money to basically put right back into the trails to Connecticut Forest and Parks. And
yeah. So we usually, donate to CFPA. I think Joshua Trust. And then I think often we give like a small donation to the ECSU team.
Okay, good.
But not this year. No, I'm joking.
This year they're paying us.
No, I'm messing with them. I'm messing around.
Just kidding, guys.
No, I want to throw a plug in for how awesome this race was, and then I would love to see more lady race directors. Yes, I think there was a lot of attention to detail that I think dudes miss, and to me it was one of my favorite race. It was probably my favorite race experience of the year. Yeah.
Oh, that's so great to hear, Jimmy.
Yeah.
There you go. Put that in writing, Jimmy.
But we still have to do the stupid donut run in 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So that might be the shit show of the year.
I was so excited when I saw that. I wanted to do it, and I won't be here.
Damn it, Becky! You move
when
it's
is
happening. You move it around.
I know it got moved to November
16th.
Yeah, I'll be in England.
Where are you going?
Look at us,
Are you
well, then I can't be your driver now, dude.
We're travelers.
Becky, are you going to Primer?
Yes, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh! Oh my God, we have to talk.
Okay.
Because I have a plan of getting there early, and I already have this plan that I want to run and like see the whole city on foot, like early, and do like a 50K of this. Oh my gosh! I'm so excited.
You guys are going to do some business
We're
together?
going to the same conference.
Oh my God,
where is it?
Oh my God.
Seattle.
You guys are, and Becky, you're gonna run a 50K in Seattle?
Well, I want to. Because
oh my God, that's so
best
awesome.
way to see Seattle is just like get on foot and make a little course, get yourself lost.
I think we
Skid
have to
Row.
ask.
Get lost because
I love that idea.
I'll have Cherie. Oh, we'll have to hit a Mauer Power to give us the ins on Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
very
excited.
good.
Yay.
Okay. Well, guys, congratulations again on on putting on a great race. You guys knocked it out of the park is the quote that I heard going around.
Yep.
Jimmy Mack, congratulations to you on your top 10 finish there. Very proud. We're going to claim you as our own, representing Cultra as, in the top 10.
Is this the point where I uncomfortably ask the question I've been not asking for a couple months? Is when do I get some fucking Cultra swag? Do I have to buy it? Like, what the fuck?
I
have some.
I hope that makes you uncomfortable.
No, I actually have stuff that I've like.
Oh, here, and, like, Jimmy.
You got a box of gear. I don't want any of those stickers, man.
Here's a sticker.
I don't want stickers. I don't want stickers with giant QR codes on them, dude. You could give those away.
If you scan that QR, Jimmy, it automatically puts a virus on your computer that makes it just shows leaves falling.
Did you hear about this? Did we talk about the leaves?
Oh, the leaf contest.
I didn't catch.
I didn't
catch any leaves at the race. Not only did I not catch any leaves, afterwards, everyone around me was catching leaves like fucking crazy. Miss Abigail Hanlon caught like 9 leaves, and was like just putting them in my face. I'm like, you guys are mocking me. This is fucking awful.
That's
Dave Merkt, Jake Ietta. Everyone was just catching leaves. Cherie caught a couple leaves. I think Jillian caught one. Kelsey caught. Like everyone was catching leaves.
My
old
God.
You should have carried a tarp.
Landed in her fucking lap. I was like, all right, I'm out of here.
So, okay, couple things. So I think Jake is going to join us next week on the episode to talk fish, to talk music, other music,
To talk fish, like
recovery with a P,
food,
like the jam band.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, Jake's seen them like 200 times.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's not that cool. I haven't seen him that many times.
Yeah, I was listening. I started following him on Spotify too. So I was listening to the whole discography, if that's how you say, the whole thing. So very good stuff. Salem Pour. And then what else? I had something else to say about this. So yeah, that's coming up soon. Then oh yeah, I ran 24 miles today on rail trip.
Ask how far you ran.
Yeah,
I had a feeling you were doing something long. Wow, yay!
Yeah, and part of
the rail trail.
So I ran from Coventry, Rhode Island, and then ran towards Moosup, and then up to Brooklyn, and then to
But you started in
Danielson.
Coventry?
Yeah, Coventry, Rhode Island. Yeah,
What
your
made you start
hometown.
there?
What's that?
Well, I mean, it's not that far from where I grew up. But what made you start in Coventry?
Peggy was doing a bike ride in Coventry going towards Providence on the bike trail. And I said, I'll go, but I'm going to run the opposite direction. That sounds wrong. So
did you do an out and back?
No, I ran. So she started there with her friends, and I ran the opposite direction. She biked with her friends and then got lunch and then
took a
went
nap
and picked me up in Danielson. So I just did a point to point, and she just called me when she was coming back.
Oh, so, I love that.
Yeah. So it was like an adventure run, not really knowing. I mapped out something really quick.
It wasn't the airline trail.
I went to connect to the airline trail. I didn't quite get there.
Oh, okay.
But because I took I took some weird thing, Quinnebog River Trail and Quinnebog River Park, I guess. So part of it I was bushwhacking. Other parts were just a rough rail trail, and then some busy, busy state roads and stuff. So yeah, it was a good day. It was a beautiful day to be out there.
I love the idea of just starting and just you run as far as you can, and then someone picks you up.
Yeah, it's a blast, and hit at Cumberland Farms too. That was the other fun part about it.
Hold on, Cherie, where you grew up, where was King? Sheets? Was Sheets the best, or Wawa? Where you in Wawa country?
We didn't really. No, we were in the sticks, so we didn't have any of that. We have like an Exxon called the Acorn.
Nice.
We didn't have any of that stuff.
Wait a minute, where?
Cherie's also from Pennsylvania, like me.
Oh, right. Like, yes.
That's why we're the coolest people on this podcast.
Absolutely.
Self-reported coolest, yes.
Wait, Byron, were you born in Jersey?
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
Awful. I have so many problems with that.
But Morris County, so it's all right. So
what about you, Kelsey?
I was born in New Milford, Connecticut.
Oh,
okay.
In Celeste?
Middletown.
Where did the ding-dong come out?
Middletown.
That's bad. That wasn't the way it was meant to be.
And she didn't get too far.
No, she didn't. Nope. Still here in Middletown.
Like Allentown.
Yeah, and I'll be here forever. So
wait, Becky, you're Rhode Island?
Westerly Hospital. Woo woo.
That's
my
right.
boys were supposed to be at Middlesex, but my body decided it didn't want to go through a third trimester. It was like
all three of mine were at Middlesex also. I had all three of my kids there.
Oh, yeah, mine where I ended up being at UConn. Because Middlesex was like, no.
We can't handle
No.
We're shipping you out. So that is what they did. But anyways.
Wow.
Well, this was lovely. I'm so I'm happy to see Kelsey and Cherie that you were RDs. I think you both have the best personalities for that.
Agreed.
And the best demeanors. And I think just from and knowing what I know about Cherie and our jobs are similar, although she has a lot more responsibility than I have, but it's within the same field, and there is so much attention to detail, and she's a master at that. So I think that this is just like the thing for her, and I think Kelsey, with how you were describing how you are, I think that just worked. It sounds like that worked perfectly, like the both of you, and it sounds like you guys were saying that as well, that it was like such a nice combination between the two of you. So if you guys want to start like a race series, maybe do like, I don't know, two races a month, 24 races a year. There could be a theme for each one. And if we
sounds
could
like you want to start a series.
Yeah.
So I want to start the series that gives the ideas, and then I'll just pass it off.
Good ADHD characteristics right there.
But congratulations, you guys did it sounds like you guys did a really great job.
Absolutely.
It was teamwork.
Oh, thank you guys. Sure. Yeah, definitely teamwork.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that's what the special sauce you guys brought to it, I think, is really what put it over the top. Just
that's what she said.
Really.
I was looking at Celeste's face. I'm like,
nobody wants to hear about your special sauce, Art.
But I got a van. I mean, come on. All right. Well, I do want to thank, besides thanking our guests, I also want to thank all of our everybody for listening to start with. All of our Patreon supporters. As you'll notice, we're not brought to you by our good friends at Fill in the Blank Incorporated.
I love Fill in the Blank.
I know. That's what she said.
Phil's
Okay.
a great guy.
Fill in the okay. And but because we rely on you guys, we kind of cut out the middleman. So if you'd like to become a Patreon, we have a link and you can do that. And I think probably we need to have a Patreon episode again where we'll go through and read the names of all of our Patreons and fuck up your names
Catch up
and
on
everything.
what they're doing.
Yeah, we got a lot of.
Let's find some really random, obscure stuff,
and we could just make it up.
We could.
That's
we should all just
right there.
we should just like all come up with like each of us take a certain number of names. And we just find something like real obscure. Like last week on Facebook, it looked like Cherie had a bologna sandwich. Good
That's
job.
Right. It's true. It's true.
Wait,
we're going to have a Halloween run.
Kelsey is currently wrapped as a burrito. I just want to point that out.
A burrito blanket.
Cute.
I know. My son has the same burrito
that.
blanket, and nobody has mentioned it.
I wasn't really sure what it was. I mean, I knew it was a blanket, but
it's a burrito blanket.
It is
tortilla. It's like a tortilla.
It's round. It's round like a tortilla.
Yeah.
That is cool.
so cute.
That is cool.
That was a gift from Dan.
Aww. He done good.
So I have to talk really quick about we are going to be having something called the Monster Mesh, which is a culture run going to be held in the Mishamasik Forest and at a date to be announced. We got to find a date that Jimmy can make it, hopefully. And so pay attention for that we're going to visit all the haunted sites there. It'll be not too long. It'll be a no drop run unless you drop dead. But besides that, like we'll see some scary shit there. It'll be a blast. A place that you want to be.
Yeah.
Or at least you'll want to sign up for and then ask, why did I do this?
Andy Meisler said we're going to run twice as many miles.
Yeah.
Than whatever's planned, just because we're all going to get lost.
That's right. Yeah. The ground turns.
Yeah.
Tune into episode 5. We talk about that early on. Okay. We got that shit out of the way right early, our 5K run. Okay. To all of our listeners out there, thank you very much. And if you've made it this far, of course, seek professional help. And we will see you all in a mile.
Mile and a half.
Mile and a half.
All right.
Yay. Oh,
right.
Is
Becky,
that
the
Becky's
blanket's looking
blanket?
on point.
It is. I was squeezing my blankie.
I don't have a blanket.
That's
I have
what
a
she said.
jacket. Does that count?
This my mom made. I know I've said this many times on the podcast, but my mom made this for me before I was born for my crib,
Oh,
and I've slept with it every night ever since. And
wow.
I think it smells fantastic. My husband smells it and thinks it's disgusting.
Becky, how did you like get laid in college and shit? Like, you had that seriously? Like, what the, are you fucking serious? Are you serious?
Seriously, a college guy's gonna be like, "Oh, you got a blanket?
Oh, yeah,
so I'm
no,
not having
that's-
Bring
sex
some
with you?"
random
Yeah,
dude
that's
back
right.
to your,
Yeah,
your
like
dorm.
that's the line. Like, no way.
Yeah, that is why like there was never that fear of like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen? Because I was the person that would go to the bars, and while everybody else was doing like actual sexy dancing, like to try and get people, I was like standing on a bar going, "Hey, look at me. I'm gonna walk like an Egyptian." Like doing stupid, dumb things that weren't funny, that made me look ridiculous, that everybody just seemed to walk away from, except for my friends who were like, ah. So yeah, I was a man.
No, I like that energy. I would have tried to hook up with you.
You say that. You say that until I come out of the bathroom like this.
I was saying that. Yeah. Then go back. Then we go
I'm-
back to your dorm room, and I see that in your bed. I was like, I gotta bounce.
I'm gonna
I gotta
go.
go.
I'm gonna slip into something more
This was a really
comfortable.
great night, but I gotta go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Well, there you go, right? Who can argue with that?
I kept my blanket until I was like 12, and then I was like, all right, it like disintegrated. Like, that thing's still in good condition.
I
Mm,
kind of
lost
thought you were
it.
holding up your mummy costume for Halloween. Like,
mm.
that's what you
I-
were showing.
You look like Squidward. You look like Squidward.
And I actually have a baby picture of me with this blankie on. I have to take a picture and then put it next to my, because I still have my yogi, which
You
was
look
part
like
of my baby picture
Squidward.
too.
Oh my
You'd be
God.
like,
Okay.
oh, look at you, you're Squidward.
Becky,
But
remember
one
when we talked
last
about
thing.
too much information?
Information.
That stuff, remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I have one question.
Says the guy who talks about his
I
special
just took a
sauce.
screenshot. I just took a screenshot because
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna put that on the culture page right now.
Oh God.
I need ideas for a Halloween costume.
Oh, I
Okay.
got
You know,
ideas.
A
I
couple's
shaved my beard.
costume.
I can't be Obi-Wan Kenobi this year. I'm screwed.
Oh, Jimmy, we can put a beer, you got to just use your filter.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so Jimmy, we got to compare schedules and
Oh yeah. How about
See if we can make
Monday,
something work.
the 28th or the 29th, Monday or Tuesday?
Okay.
Would either of those work?
Yeah, what do you guys think? The 29th?
Or I could do Halloween night because I don't have my
No,
kid
I don't want to
this
make it
year for
Halloween night.
Why you want to
Yeah,
give out candy?
We might lose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give
because
out
people are
candy.
going to
Who's
be
coming up? Who's coming up your cul-de-sac and breaking their ankles on the most technical driveway?
No,
east of
not
the
me. I'm
fucking
saying
Connecticut
I'm-
River.
I know.
I've never
That's
had a
like
trick-or-treater ever at my house.
I'm gonna have the van
Seriously?
set
Yeah,
up there.
Becky, you live even more remote than Art. Becky's in like
Oh yeah. Nobody's gonna
woods.
walk up that giant hill either direction. You have to go up a giant
But
hill.
but
So
I'm
there's
saying
just-
other folks, other Patreons who might want to join us.
Yeah, I mean Monday or Tuesday, I feel like either would work.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
do either.
But I'm only
Good.
doing 6, not 12.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
only doing
no.
it. Well,
that's
you'll get
that's
lost.
the thing.
It's going to be
That's
6.
where we're all doing, except for when we get lost.
Yeah,
We're not
it'll
gonna
be
try to get lost. We're gonna
Yes.
try not to get lost.
Yeah, I have the route already, so
So we'll get lost.
and I think there's a cutoff. Not a cutoff. There's a cut, like a shortcut. It's a no drop
Cherie
cutoff.
and I
Whoa,
ran
whoa.
part of it.
We cut your feet off if you don't run fast.
I was going to say that.
Then we'll see who's going slow.
All right, which
All
night?
right.
We're going to figure that out.
Yeah,
Monday or
yeah.
Tuesday,
So
either one.
hold it. So let's make
All
it the
right.
29th, right?
Mhm.
let it be said as it is written, so it shall be done.
Tuesday
so,
the 29th, that works.
29th. Oh, and we'll make it at 6. Is 6 o'clock too early? Probably, right?
So the sun goes down. That'll be sunset on that day, I bet. Just about.
I want people to drive in at 7 o'clock. That way it's scary as fuck when you go back there.
I don't live far from there, so if people want to drive to me and come with me, then you can do that. Because I've driven out there and I get freaked out, so I can see where someone that doesn't.
Oh, well, because you're coming in from the other side. So
I'm like, what?
Sunset is at 5:50
from the other side that you're.
Listen to me, Art. You don't talk to Squidward like that, okay?
Okay.
Sunset will be at 5:50. So.
Oh,
okay.
Shit. Yeah, it'll be dark. It'll be dark at 6.
You and I should drive together.
Okay.
Okay. 6
I
o'clock.
can pick you up if you want.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Pick me up.
Okay, 6 o'clock on the
like
29th.
I will not pick you up. Oh.
I will make a little invite and make it an event on the Cultra page.
Perfect.
Nice.
Right. And then
and people get extra points for dressing up.
That's right. Oh, and maybe we can give away free stickers because I bought 300 of these.
Oh, I want to steal some.
But I already put up a couple on the trail today. Is that bad? Does that make me a bad person?
Perfect. No.
So, okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. It's bedtime.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Good night,
Cherie,
y'all.
we have to talk.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.